Perhaps you saw the screaming headlines over the last 48 hours. The walls are finally closing in on Donald Trump. That's it. They got him. There's a smoking gun audio tape regarding the classified documents case. It's going to throw him in jail, Gitmo, for 100 years. Here's a little bit of the audio that's supposed to be the smoking gun. Here, watch.
Military given to me. I think we can probably, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to
Declassify.
figure out yeah.
See, as president, I could have declassified
Yeah.
it. Now I can't, but this is
Yeah,
classified.
now we have a problem.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's so cool. I mean, it's so. Look, here I have. Believe me, but
So here he is talking about the document. I didn't classify it. I could have classified it, blah, blah, blah. And the document supposedly is General Milley's war plan for invading Iran. So that's a big deal, right? Really huge. Yeah, that's it. Walls closing in. Trump's done. Except for this. CBS News reporting last night. The Iran memo that was in question, it's actually not one of the 31 records that Trump is charged with in that federal indictment about having unauthorized classified documents. I don't know, maybe it's me, but if you've got a smoking gun audio of Trump admitting that he has a classified document and he's holding up the document on tape, and then it turns out that whatever he was holding up is not actually one of the documents in the indictment, then maybe it's not the smoking gun everybody thinks it is. Joining us right now is Michael Caputo, former Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Trump, and also the founder of Americano Media. Michael, I mean, where have we seen this story before? It's like they keep doing it. They keep doing it.
It's not just not a smoking gun. It's not even a gun. This is just theater, really, more than anything else. And the Department of Justice is clearly breaking the law to achieve this public relations disaster they've just made for themselves. Yet they're allowed to do this. As we all know, the Department of Justice is permitted to leak all kinds of classified and case-relevant material to the public because they did that through all of the different bogus investigations into Donald Trump, from the Russia investigations and onward. Yeah. This actually, as we find out, the staffer whose voice you hear in this audio also told the DOJ she does not recall anyone being shown any documents as he was saying these things.
Right.
This is really ridiculous. It's just another PR ploy. It shows you they have nothing, Larry. That's what I'm taking away from this. Right. Because if they had something, they'd have leaked it. They'll leak anything.
Well, and also, Michael, I've heard some people saying, well, at least this proves that Trump is admitting that he didn't declassify all of his documents. And my immediate response is, wait a minute, he's talking to writers. He's BSing them. I mean, it's against the law to BS a reporter, then we're all going to jail.
It's true. These are the same people who thought when Donald Trump said, hey, Russia, if you've got Hillary Clinton's emails, send them on over our way.
Right.
They have no sense of humor. There's only thing worse than a humorless liberal, Larry, and that's a liberal who thinks they're funny.
Michael, I got to say, though, when you actually listen to this audio and you look at what the president is saying and what the underlying message is, I got to say, for those who are concerned about the operations of the Pentagon, for those who think that we've had enough with a lot of these foreign adventures and a lot of the use of our military in campaigns that are either no-win situations or 20-year stalemates in Afghanistan, honestly, I think this actually helps the president make that case. It shows that when the cameras aren't rolling and he doesn't think he's being recorded, he continues to maintain that message that we're going on these wars and they're trying to invade countries and we have no business doing it.
It's true. And I think that this also reveals that these folks don't play 3D chess. They don't even really play checkers. Their game is very weak. If they're laying out this recording that has nothing to do with the case and undermines what all the Department of Defense war hawks have been saying for so long, that, we need to be in these wars, it only comes down to one thing, Larry. They leaked this because of the timing in the news cycle. Yeah. What happened that day, right? We found out more from the IRS whistleblowers about the bogus investigation into Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's own corruption. They released it because they wanted to suck up the news cycle. That's exactly what happened. The PR people are running the Department of Justice, not the law enforcement.
Yeah, so Michael, it's interesting because you're right. We've been focusing quite a bit on the corruption that's being exposed on a daily basis here in the Biden family. It's something that those of us who looked at the laptop story back in 2020, we saw pretty clearly. finally it's all coming out because we have a Republican majority in the House. When you look at this story, you're an old political hand. If you were trying to advise Joe Biden at this point, based on where his polls are, where this story is going, and also based on his political capabilities, is there any cleanup that you could do here? I mean, this seems like this is a slow train wreck that we're all watching.
I also believe that that train wreck is well orchestrated. We all know he's too old to serve as president of the United States. We all know that he's too corrupt to serve as the president of the United States. And this, little by little, is coming out. We see the White House press room turning on the KJP the other day, and running off the other spokesman who refused to answer any questions about this scandal. The fact of the matter is, I've been in politics for 40 years. I've done many different U.S. Presidential primaries. I don't think the candidate is Joe Biden. I heard Tucker Carlson say he thinks it's Governor Newsom. I think it's Michelle Obama. Because if you look at the polls, there's only one Democrat that beats everyone. Newsom has a problem beating Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or another candidate. Michelle Obama could defeat U.S. Senator Jesus H. Christ if she ran. Her numbers are impenetrable. So for what I see here is the slow takedown of Joe Biden. So after the primaries are over, the Democrat convention can anoint their candidate. Remember, the Democrats are able to do that because they have what they call superdelegates at the convention. At the Republican convention, it's a lot harder to overwhelm the will of the primary states.
Well, you're going to get a lot of people talking with that statement, Michael Caputo. So I'll let it marinate there for a while. Let's talk about the candidate that you're supporting, Donald Trump. He's bringing this up at rallies and political events. A lot of observers, though, are saying, listen, the Biden story is telling itself. Lay it out there. Do what Trump does best. But don't make it about you. Don't, there tends to be a habit of President Trump where you got a great story here that makes your opponent look bad, but then he turns himself into the victim on it. You know what I mean? Is there any discussion about sort of the way to approach this story so it isn't all about him?
Well, I've known Donald Trump since 1988, and I've never seen it go any other way. The fact of the matter is, Donald Trump is the victim in this regard. In fact, we're all the victims, but the deep state is after us via Donald Trump. And I think, it's great to say, oh, it's really about the country. Please just make it about the country. Donald Trump has memories, very, very bad memories of these people coming after him for 7 years. A lot of us who are in the Trump camp, the immutable base of Donald Trump in the Republican primary vote, for example, the 35+% that are always going to go his way, no matter what happens, it enlivens the base for him to remind them of all the dastardly deeds this deep state has pulled against him. Yeah. Remember, Larry, when Donald Trump first started talking about the deep state in 2016, a lot of people were laughing. Heck, Roger Stone's been telling me about the deep state since I was his driver in 1986. I used to laugh aloud. Now I know the deep state exists because I caught them outside my house many times. The deep state took photos of me praying in my Catholic parish prayer garden. These guys are there. They're real. They've abused Donald Trump. He's the best witness to their crimes. I say keep going, Mr. President.
Can we collaborate on the Netflix miniseries focusing on your life as Roger Stone's driver? That's like a 12-episode run right there. I could sell it.
I'll tell you, it was a great education in politics, but in the end, knowing Roger Stone, knowing Donald Trump, ruined all of us. I mean, I told the great Rush Limbaugh once, this is about telling people, teaching people, you must not get involved in politics to do anything right, because you'll be destroyed by the deep state. Rush was right. This is about teaching the next billionaire he better not step out of line and do exactly what the deep state tells him to do.
Michael Caputo, I hope you have a great Independence Day week next week and through the weekend. I know you will, because you love this country, you love your independence, and well, that's what it's all about. Thanks for joining us tonight, sir.
Thank you.
There's more to come on O'Connor tonight. Oh, you bet there is. Keep it here. It's Salem News Channel.